everyone, welcome to our podcast here. I'm Hansel Lin here with my best friend Wayne Tang. We wrote a book, which like this podcast is also called theCoderBros Go to White Castle. It's a book about our story, how we grew up Asian, how we became best friends, and how we found our White Castle. Only our destination wasn't a fast food joint, but rather an awesome little business called the Coder School that we now run together. So we started this podcast to explore the stories of other Asian Americans like us, and how they write their own book, what they would think of as their own White Castle, how they got there, and anything else in between. So let's get to it. Wayne, what do we got on tap today? Who's our guest?
Yeah, our guest today is quite esteemed. He's the founder of EM Marketing. Boom, that should be all I need to say. But if that's not enough, he is a marketing and product expert with over 20 years of experience. He's covered the full gamut working at large Fortune 500 companies such as Procter and Gamble, the cool people say PG, and Intuit, as well as small startups as well. His name is Ken Chen. Welcome to the podcast, Ken. To start us off,
Wait, I feel like that was a full business LinkedIn summary. All right, so Ken, add in
yeah,
some personality to that as well, outside of the
yeah,
business stuff
I
as
can
well.
I can see on my LinkedIn profile. I think there's probably a sentence in there where maybe I wrote it, but that's cool. Thank you guys. Great to be here.
yeah, yeah. You can start us off. Maybe just briefly let us know what you're currently up to.
Yeah. So the profile you read, I consider as the journey that I have completed. So I started a business over 20 years ago called EM Marketing. It's a marketing consulting firm, and we really specialize in the tech industry and helping place other tech marketers. So we got our way by creating a community for freelance marketers, and so we have a pool of freelance marketers, and then also clients, and we match them. So that's the business that wasn't the business I started off looking to start. It just was something that kind of happened. You know, I'm sure you guys can appreciate this. Sometimes when you're on your entrepreneurial journey, you get
Definitely.
little pivots
Pivot,
and little,
pivot.
yeah.
And yeah,
And
Hansel and I, mainly Hansel, comes up with tons of great ideas where we're like, that's gonna just kill it. We're gonna be super rich. And I mean, then they don't get taken at all. It's
Yeah,
just
then
total
they suck.
dud. Then they suck.
Yeah,
But I mean, we have lots of the fun is just kind of bouncing off ideas, like you said, and pivoting and thinking that you're gonna pivot or whatnot, but then
absolutely.
pivoting back. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's great when you have this for you guys. You have been doing this for a long time, and you can look back and you can say, "Oh, remember 10 years ago we could have done that, or we did that. Oh, that would have been a mistake." You know, it's like, so
yeah.
it's kind of cool to see that. But so I
So
did
you
that
moved
for
on from that, right? Yeah, go ahead.
so I did
Yeah,
that for
continue.
20 years, and now I'm in a transition. I'm transitioning into what I call midlife, and what I've discovered a lot of people call midlife. And it's kind of the point in your life when you're making these drastic transitions professionally. For me personally, my son is now at school. He's going to the University of Oregon, and I have a second
Nice.
child who is a
Congrats.
junior in high school.
They're
So
number one in the nation in
That's
football.
right. They're going to win it all this
they
year.
are. And
Because
actually,
Alabama, yeah. Anyway, I won't get into the whole college
they're
playoff thing.
I keep telling him how lucky he is because their basketball team until this weekend, they were undefeated too.
Wow.
Yeah.
I didn't know that. Didn't
He's
hear
probably
much about
been
that.
to
Oregon.
like a handful of Oregon basketball games and football games, and they've never lost until this weekend. So
Wow, it's
yeah,
crazy.
Insane. So let's see. So now you're in this transition phase, and so you actually your company is still going. And I think you said you told me a while ago you had two companies, but one of them at least
yeah,
you passed off to your wife, right?
yes,
KJ, which
yeah,
we know, but maybe the rest of the people don't know. But you passed that off with your wife. That's crazy in itself. So you were working with
Yeah,
your wife, and
yeah,
that's
then you're like,
crazy
honey,
already, right
I'm
there.
done. You take
Yeah,
it, and then you show me the money.
yeah.
yeah.
Tell
Tell
us about
us
that.
So
how does that work?
I still own two agencies. So EM Marketing is the bigger one. That's the one that KJ runs now. KJ is my wife, Kathy. I think 3 to 5 years into my journey with that company, she was like, "Hey, you need help?" And I was like, "Oh, yes, I need help." and she just happened to be transitioning out of what she was working at Kaiser Permanente. This is
Okay.
a, this is a funny aside story. So she just had, I think, our second child and asked to get Fridays off. She was like, is there any way I can get Fridays off? Which I think in the current landscape, that'd be pretty easy to achieve, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the boss said, no, no,
Mm.
Oh, wow.
just flat no. She talked to a few other people. They're like, no, not happening. And then
Yeah.
that's when I was like,
Oh
hey,
man. So then she was like,
join
then I
me.
am out of here. And
Yeah,
then I'm
yeah.
working for my husband.
Well, I
That's
think
cool.
post pandemic, like you said, that's like a no-brainer. I guess pre-pandemic, there's some people that kind of get their, whatever in a wad, and they're just like, no. Um,
Whatever in a while.
I think
So
I
so
think
yeah.
the
but before we
working
go on,
landscape is
we gotta ask the Asian question, pulling the Asian stuff. So we want to understand who you are mentally first before we sort of dig more
okay.
into your life. But so in terms of being how do you identify yourself in terms of Asian American? How Asian versus how American? If you were to scale it, let's say from 1 to 10, 10 being you're super
Hmm.
Asian, one being I'm a white guy. Where
Yeah.
would you put yourself and
Yeah,
and why?
yeah. Okay, so I'll start by saying that I grew up in Michigan, and Michigan
Pretty white, right? I'm assuming.
That already kind of maxes
it
you at a
is
5.
it is as white as you can get.
Yep,
I
yep.
mean, so when I was in elementary school, I actually thought I was white. I
Oh
mean,
yeah?
because when you're a little kid, you just see everybody around you and you kind of think I'm like them. So, of course, my parents and my family look different, but I didn't really actually know what that meant.
Hmm.
Hmm.
And it wasn't until some kids started teasing me
I'm with you. I'm with
in
you. I
About
grew up
elementary
in
like your eyes
Alabama.
or
Yeah,
your
yeah.
color or
the
something?
C word they were using. And I was like,
Yeah.
what's
Uh-huh.
that? I remember asking my dad, and he was like, don't get in a fight, don't get into a fight. And so
Yeah.
that was the first time I was like, oh, okay, I look different. I am different.
Right.
I always knew I was Taiwanese. The term Asian American wasn't even around. It,
Yeah.
Right.
I think it
Right.
was
Because there
like,
weren't that many of us.
yeah, you're either white or you're, and I don't think they said Asian either. They would just call me Chinese
Orientals.
or
Oriental. It was Oriental where I grew up.
yes,
You one of
yes.
them Orientals.
I mean, I got a lot of like, where are you from? A lot of
Hmm.
that. Like, where are you
Yeah.
from? What do you mean? I'm from here.
Because
And
if you're not black or white, then what are you? Yeah.
So you were born and bred there, but like your parents were Taiwanese, but
yes,
did you ever go back there or whatever, or you're just America
not
since?
until I was in college.
Oh
Yeah.
wow.
So we never went back there. That's debatable, but my dad was a professor at Michigan State. He was very outwardly spoken politically, and he spoke
Mm.
out against the Taiwanese government. So even he didn't go back.
Oh
He used to
wow.
tell us these stories like, I'm on the blacklist, and he wore it as
Mm.
a badge of honor. And I was like, okay, whatever, Dad, you're not that cool. But I mean, some of his friends have told me that. Yeah, he was very vocal. He used to give these speeches when he was a student, and then when he came over to the States, he was a professor, and he would say things. And
Holy cow, that would actually be
Wow.
scary in my mind. I mean,
yeah,
with the whole shooting today, like Steve Kerr's dad got shot because of that, right?
yes,
That's crazy. That's
yes.
scary.
So that's why
Yeah.
we didn't go back. The interesting thing is my dad is a bit of a community builder himself. And so he was kind of like the first professor at Michigan State who was Taiwanese, and he just befriended all the Taiwanese community.
Mhm.
So I didn't feel out of place with Asians because on the weekends we'd get together in these churches and we'd have potlucks and there would be talent shows and
Sure.
they watch movies. And so but
But in the talent show though, everybody's playing the piano, right?
Like everybody. Piano
it's
or
like
violin, it's got to be.
piano,
Yeah,
violin.
piano. Just yeah. So keep it, kind of rotate them at least, not
Yeah,
piano,
maybe a
piano,
cello
piano.
every now and then,
There you go. Yeah,
Yes,
yeah.
pretty much. So I did grow up immersed in the white culture. It's interesting because I always had a chip on my shoulder. Not until I was adult that I realized that I think some of it had to do with that being excluded. Uh, I'll say this
Definitely.
much. I'm a pretty good athlete, and I used to get picked last a lot on the
Oh wow,
playground.
because you're
Mm.
Asian, you think. Now that
Yes.
you look back, because you're Asian.
I remember my best friend used to say, I don't know why they pick you last. Your team always
Yeah,
wins. And I'd
because
be
the
like,
Asian dude is not the athlete,
it
you
just
know?
like was
Were you shorter or smaller?
I was shorter, but I was also faster and quicker.
Fast, yeah.
It
Yeah,
was like, and not super short either.
right.
Yeah.
Anyways, you can tell I still have that chip on my shoulder. It's like I just I got cut from my seventh grade basketball team. Still
Mm.
hurts. Still hurts.
Mm.
I'm like, how did that happen? It was like the people that were on the team in front of me, I just knew I was better than them growing up with them. Yeah.
Dang.
Yeah, it's funny because back then you sort of, at that age you sort of don't really know. You're just like, oh, that sucks, I got cut. But you look back and you're like, oh shit, maybe that was because I was Asian.
Yeah.
And they just don't get it.
Absolutely.
And the funny thing is, so seventh grade I got cut. Eighth grade, I make the team and I'm the starting point guard.
Yeah,
Wow.
so
There you
And
go, you
that's
showed
kind of
them.
proof, though, that
Like
one
Michael
year
Jordan.
ago, yeah, unless you were that much different, but you would have made the team.
yeah,
Yeah.
and I remember some parents asking me, where did you move here? Like they just were like,
Where'd you
where the
Right.
come
hell did you
from?
come from?
I could totally see that. And you're like, I was cut last
No, I
I've
was
been
year.
cut.
here this whole time.
Yeah, I've been
That's
here the
funny.
whole time.
So okay, so then how do you see yourself then? So then pretty American, as I was saying. How do you speak
So
Chinese? How's your
So I
culture
would
there?
say, so my parents, another bad story is like I have two older sisters. The oldest sister spoke, but in first grade, the teacher said she had an accent. You shouldn't be teaching your kids to speak English,
Oh man,
which
Whoa,
I've learned,
man.
which I guess is somewhat common. I've heard this story from a few others. It's like
really?
they say if you're speaking Taiwanese at home, they're going to have an accent and they won't be assimilated. So they got that advice from the outside. There was no Google to see like, is this true or
Yeah,
whatever.
yeah, yeah.
So my
No,
parents always spoke English to us, and I do not to this day. I don't speak Taiwanese.
yeah, my
Wow.
parents
So
too.
it,
I think
yeah,
that generation, my parents seriously thought that would ruin my English. And it was
Yes,
like, that's the dumbest ass thing
I
because
know.
we're growing up in America. Our English is going to be better than yours. It's fine. But I don't really speak. I mean, I can say, ni hao ma. That's about it. That's it. So
Yeah.
not a
So
lot.
I would say to answer your question, I'm sorry, Anaya, from a scale of 1 to 10, I'd say I'm about a 7 now. But when I was younger, it was low. I was actually
so
kind of
seven towards the Asian
Towards
side.
being
Asian side.
Asian.
Yes.
Asian side. Okay, okay. So
Because
even though had that, you grew up much lower. It sounds like on the
At like
scale.
a
right, and
zero almost.
I
Yeah.
try to cover it up. I didn't like sometimes my friends would come over and my parents would cook, Chinese. And they'd be like, "You want to have, Bill over?" And I'd be like, "No, no, he should go home." It was like you were afraid to show that side of you.
Oh man.
Probably because, we're getting teased and like you just stood
Yeah.
back then.
Well, yeah, I had the same thing. I mean, like if my mom had a bunch of egg rolls, you don't want them to nickname you egg roll or
Right.
something dumbass like that. So it's just kind of, you don't show it off exactly. Yeah,
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's
totally.
really
So when I
interesting
was a
to
kid, I was probably 1 or 2, and then I went to college. And
right.
kind of naturally, I just started making friends who were Asian, hanging out mostly with Asians.
Actually, that's a good question. So in college, you had a lot of Asian friends. Like it was like because my friends are like even now they're 100% Asian. You guys are all Asian. All my friends are 100%
Yeah,
Asian.
yeah. Hansel's
And I
racist,
think
by
I
the way.
asked you this
Anyway.
before, Kenny, too. But I mean, are your current social group friends? Are they pretty much Asian?
Yes, but in a strange way, a lot of my work friends are white, you know.
Yeah, you were telling about that too. Well,
Yeah,
work, I guess
it's
yours is a bit
almost
different.
like, yeah, like friends and families, the close ones are all Asian, pretty much all Asian.
Yeah.
But I do have, my some college friends are white. A lot of them I played basketball with. I hate to say it, but Asians are not that good at basketball, or at least they
Yeah.
weren't. They weren't before, right?
Right, right. What
So
about
Well, there's only one.
Yeah, what
There's
about
only
like
one good.
dating? Because
Hmm.
when obviously if you were, pretty much white growing up, you must have dated or envisioned yourself marrying a white woman, I would guess.
oh,
I know that when I grew up, I literally, if you had asked me when I was like in high school, I would have said there's a 0% chance I'm gonna marry like an Asian girl. It was just all white. But my number also went way the other way. I mean, I met Hansel. That moved me up by 4 notches right there. But yeah. So when did you? I mean, I know you ended up marrying Asian, so at some point. But
Yeah,
you,
so in like when I was a kid, I didn't get much girl attention. I don't know if that's as Asian, whatever.
yeah,
A bunch of reasons for that. I was nerdy, I was dork,
right.
whatever.
I
There's
was
a
I
lot of
was I
reasons.
was there with you. Wayne was a super popular cool
I
kid.
actually was
He got
able
all
to
the
date
ladies.
somehow. I was able to, but
But I'm
yeah.
I'm right there with you, Kenny.
Yeah, I did not get any attention from any girls. It didn't matter white, Asian. And then
Okay, right.
but then when I got to college, it was a little bit of, like mainly mostly because my friend group, was all
Mm,
Asian. So, and there'd be Asian dances and different work,
yeah.
different get-togethers. And then that's when I was like, I think I should probably be with an Asian girl. But before that, it was always the
You
idea would be like, oh, I think I'll marry a
Yeah.
white girl.
right.
So
Okay.
Too bad none of them say hi to me in the hallway.
You're right, right.
yeah. So
Yeah.
so so you married Korean, not even Taiwanese. What did your parents have any, were they like, wait a minute, she's not even Chinese or Taiwanese, she's Korean. Was there any of
Well, so
that?
here's an
Yeah.
interesting thing is my brother, who's a year younger than me, started dating a Korean girl who's now his wife,
Hmm.
like
Okay.
right out of college, kind of. And so they were already broken in, like
Hmm.
Nice.
so, and they knew that they would eventually get married. So, um, they've never talked to me about disappointment or any of that. I I do know so KJ will tell you this story, and I don't even know if it's true, but when I first started dating KJ, my mom tried to set me up, and she thinks it's because it was like,
With somebody else?
yeah,
Yeah,
and I
because you
and I
started
could.
dating maybe a Korean, and so it was
And
like,
I was
dang.
like, well, my mom doesn't even know you're Korean and she doesn't even know, and it's early stages, so don't put any of that on it. But she was like, no, your mom was trying to set you up to get you away from me with another Taiwanese girl.
Right, right. Maybe. You
Hilarious.
never know.
But no, they
Well,
didn't have a problem with it.
it's funny that, I mean, that's great that they didn't have a problem with it, but it is funny that that generation is like kind of racist in a lot of their own ways, right?
Yes.
We talked about before we got on, you were like, I'm Taiwanese, I'm not Chinese, because that's what my parents said. There's a lot of Chinese that just cannot stand Japanese people,
Yeah,
because there was this whole war situation and all that stuff. So
I know.
it's interesting. There's a little intra-Asian,
Oh, for sure. I
yeah,
mean, Japan occupied Taiwan when my
yeah.
parents were young. So it's
Yeah.
Yeah.
interesting
So
because
your parents are anti-Japan also?
like my dad was fluent. He's totally fluent. We'd go to a Japanese restaurant, he'd just be blah 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 blah
Wow.
blah, ordering off the menu, talking to the waitress, and we'd be like, "Whoa, what
Wow.
superpower is that?" And he's like, "No, I grew up speaking Japanese."
Wow.
Wow. That's crazy.
Yeah. You said your dad
Cool
wasn't
stuff.
cool, but your dad actually sounds very cool.
He was very cool. I
He
just like
sounded like he was awesomely cool. Yeah.
he was a well, that's one of the projects I'm working on right now. I'm trying to write a book about him
Yeah.
Wow.
because I
Yeah,
think
that's awesome.
he's lived a very
So
interesting life.
so let's bring it back to like the current day. So you're working on a project for doing this. Tell us about this project that you're doing about your dad, for your dad.
Yeah, so it just kind of happened where when he passed away, it's been 2 years now. Um,
Mm, sorry.
like I think oh, thank you. I'm maybe the most natural writer out of the four of us, and so I wrote the eulogy, and I also gave a little speech at his funeral. And then when he was alive, he always said, "Are you going to write my book?" And I would go, "Dad, you're not that famous, and I'm not a writer. Like, what do you?" But he used to ask me all the time. And
Mhm.
then when he passed away, I was like, I should probably do it to honor him.
Yeah.
So I've been
I
slowly
Yeah.
think that's
writing these stories about him, and I'm not I've never written a book, so I'm still slowly putting it together. I don't think it's something that I want to put out for publication. I think I'm going to write it for my family and his friends.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
think that's the coolest thing for anybody listening. Like Wayne and I, we also wrote a book, and but that it's not about the book. It's about us sitting down and just, talking about our lives and, hey, remember this happened, remember that happened, and for you to do the same with your dad is an amazing, just it's a great way to memorize, sort of memorize him, but memorialize him. Wayne and I have more ego though. We're going to publish ours, so we have other people. But it's an awesome thing to do, and I think it kind of fits in with this sort of transition lifetime that you're
Yeah,
talking about. Where we're middle age, right?
yeah,
And I know, Kenny, I don't know if you want to tell us a bit about this transition group that you're starting. I think it'll
yeah.
be
I'd
really
be
interesting.
happy
Yeah.
to do it. So when I first stopped working at the two companies, I struggled. It's like, no schedule, no meetings, no email. It's like everything kind of stops
Yeah.
and you're just kind of stuck there going, oh, at first you're like, oh, this is great. Like two
Yeah.
weeks vacation, nothing to do. But then if you're used to doing a lot of things and being productive, you're like, okay, this kind of stinks. So I had
Hmm.
three projects. One was writing the book, and it took me a while to get there. But one of the projects I'm working on is it's a midlife group. It's for people like me to find peers to talk about this stage in life because it can be difficult, especially if you're not going into that transition with your spouse.
Hmm.
Kathy doesn't want to
Yeah.
hear about me having nothing to do. That just makes her more mad.
Yeah, she's busy. She's busy actually
She's
making money for
busy.
your
She's
family.
She's
busy
like,
doing.
then why is the garbage not taken out? And you're like, I've got nothing to do. And she's like,
I got no excuses. Like just
It's
about any
good, man.
task, I'm like, okay, I'm gonna have to
yeah.
do that, whether I like to do
Yeah.
it or not. No, so the midlife group is bringing together people who are transitioning. They're in transition either professionally, some personally. There are people who've been divorced. A lot of
Yeah.
people are parents that are slowly becoming less parents, right? Because their kids are going off to college. Some of our members have been immersed in helping their parents, and then their parents pass away. So there's a lot of
Absolutely.
transition that happens in late 40s to up to 60 that is kind of like the sweet spot. And it happened organically. I was struggling and I thought, you know what? What if I just try to put a group of people together, maybe going through the same thing, send an email to like 16 people and I got 15 yeses the next day. I was like, wow, there's some power here because I think it's an unmet need. You guys are entrepreneurs, right? It's like, where would you go for this? Like,
Yeah.
there's no tried and true path for this kind of thing.
Yeah,
Um,
I needed it, honestly. I mean, I just went through the one facet that you mentioned about, our parents getting older, and then they sort of become your child.
Mhm.
And then if you're around that age and you have young toddlers, you're getting it from both ends because you've got the real children that are your toddlers, but your parents now are essentially becoming toddlers as they get into their super old age. And I went through the whole phase of, she was living with me and then to an old folks home. And then, she passed away this past March. And and yeah, no, when you mentioned that group, I'm drawn to it. And so
Yeah.
yeah, you would get 15 out of 16 yeses because the people, I think
Yeah. So
there's a need.
so tell us a bit more about like when the group meets up and like what are some of the exercises that you guys do that other people might think about, when they get to our age?
Yeah. So we have different topics. There's usually two portions of the meeting. The first portion is updating. It's just in the beginning, you want to build some rapport with the group. They knew me, but they didn't know each other. And so it's just sharing like where I am in this stage of life. What are my challenges right now? And so many common themes, just like,
Yeah.
which is funny because it's like, of course, you get a group of 15 people together and you say, I'm feeling this way. Chances are three or four people are also feeling that way, right?
Makes
Yeah.
sense. Yeah.
Yeah, and so there's an personal update portion, and then there's usually content we provide. So we've talked about longevity. We did a health check-in because health becomes even more important at this stage, and
Oh yeah.
maybe the things that we have one member's really into health, and she just has a great framework of thinking it. So we put together the scorecard, give people something to shoot for.
Yeah,
Um,
Kenny, what was that stat you told me once? Because I was like, I'm over the hill, not middle life, and you were like, anybody who
yeah.
reaches 50 is something something. What was that
Anybody
stat?
who reaches the age of 50, your lifespan is into the 90s. The chances that you'll live into your 90s is very high.
Hmm,
So if you
that's
think of
good
it
to
that
know.
Wow.
way, I'm 56 and I was like, I don't know how much time I'll have left. And then when I saw that stat, I was like, oh
About
my
40
God, I got a
years.
lot of time here, still have a lot of time.
So then that means Kathy needs to keep working to support it all.
Yeah, another 35 years.
Yeah.
But wait, how do you monetize this new group, if at all? Or is it a
Well,
nonprofit or something? Or
the first group is free because we were experimenting and we've had 6 meetings. I have another meeting this Friday, and that's going great. But I'm trying to form a second group and to charge for it. It's like
Yeah.
I do have an office space and I do pay a mortgage, and you know,
yeah.
I've partnered with a coach. She's a professional coach, and so she's going to be sharing what she knows about coaching and shaping our curriculum. But we're talking about all sorts of topics that are maybe a little bit more hot in that age. It's from longevity to wellness. We had one session where people wrote their life story. We just talked about writing a book.
Awesome.
Some people went super deep into that, wrote tons of pages of it, and I think that's healthy because it stamps a time in your life where you're looking in the past, and then maybe helps you clear to the future because you've written about it, right? It becomes history.
Yeah.
So that's an example of an exercise we did. We'll probably do one
Nice.
on finances and retirement. Um,
Yeah, those are all really relevant.
yeah,
That's
so
really
there's
cool.
there's no shortage of topics. But in terms of monetizing it, I think it's a fantastic thing for anybody to find community at this age. I think if you look at the trends in our society, there's less and less community. There's been
Yeah, as you get older, it's harder to have community and to be able to
yes,
have it set like that for you. I think it's huge.
yeah. So
Cool, good for you.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, so at the end of this podcast, definitely we'll want to get some, if you want to tell us how to find out more about it, that kind
yeah,
of thing. We'd love to hear more. So we're going to end this first section of the podcast and ask you about the most important question we always like to ask. So our whole thing was we got to our White Castle by finding the Coder School. What would you say I mean, it sounds like you've done a lot of awesome stuff. What would you say your White Castle is or
yeah. I mean,
was?
I think my White Castle was EM marketing. I think I
Okay.
always wanted to start my own business. I was a mechanical engineer out of college. But I knew I didn't want to go work for a car company. If you if you go to school in Michigan and you get a
Yeah.
It's all
mechanical
cars.
engineering degree, there are three companies that you go to work for: GM, Chrysler, or
Ford.
Ford.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
And I could have done that, but I had worked in the summer at General Motors, and I was like, I don't know if I want to just test engines and like it just I wasn't a car guy, and I just like so I got an opportunity to move out to Boston and I started to work with a friend. I started a business. It was a computer business. And
Oh,
that
cool.
business didn't go well, which is good because I learned a lot of things about how to pick a partner, how to pick a business, like a lot of things about myself.
Yeah.
And then I went back to business school and then I started working in industry. I worked at Procter and Gamble and Intuit, those startups. But in the back of my mind, I always knew I was an entrepreneur. I always wanted to do that. I was always like, oh, I should thinking about ideas all the time popping in my brain. But I already had a house and the family was getting started. And so I was like, what can I do that's less risky? And so what I did was
Right.
I became a consultant. I took my marketing knowledge and I sold myself. And I started to do that. But along the way, I did it by myself for the first 3 years, solo consulting. A lot of people do that. That's the
hmm
simplest way to do it. But then at some point, so many people came into my life saying, hey, I want to do what you're doing, like people who I worked with in the past or clients that I were talking to. And I would say, you can do it. Anybody can do it, And so what happened was I just started building this community of consultants like me, like-minded like me, kind of all in their 30s. And so over time, what I realized was that was my thing. I wanted to help people find their work-life balance and joy in their life again. And so, yes, it's a marketing company, but really the reason I did it was because I wanted to help people. And it was awesome to be able to help a consultant find a gig and then a client too. It's like you're helping two people when you match make.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and it doesn't always work out, but a lot of times it does. So that
Yeah.
was my
He's
White
and
Castle. It was like, it was 20 years of this. Now, maybe the interesting thing for people who watch this podcast is that I kind of fell out of love with it. It was
That's the
just
thing. There's always a sequel, right? There's the White
yes,
Castle, but then there's like part two. What's your next White
right,
Castle, right?
right. And
Hmm.
so, and it was a hard reality. I remember it was during COVID. So the first year of COVID, we have a little small office and used to have like 8 people every day, 9 to 5, right?
Hmm.
And then none of that. And
Yeah.
then it was Zoom, 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 Zoom. And something about that year, and I kind of had done what I set out to do. I didn't really set out to create a huge company. I wanted to create my own company. I wanted to hire the people I wanted to hire, and I had done that. And then I just started thinking like maybe there's a different, White Castle or a different mountain for me to climb. And as soon as that
Yeah.
thought goes in your brain, it's dangerous. You're just like, oh, right? You stopped accepting all the things that maybe the minor annoyances that were minor before become major because you're like, ah, I don't want to do
Yeah.
this.
Yeah.
Oh,
And that's why you got out. And then you
yeah,
had your wife take care of it all. Life is always about finding the next one. It's
yes,
funny because we went through that same, Wayne and I, just while doing this book and stuff, we are like, we got to ask people what their White Castle is. But after a while, we realized it's not like there's one White Castle. It's not like one life
yes.
destination. It's like
Yeah.
milestones, right? It's
I,
everything along the way.
I hate to say this, but the Miley Cyrus song, The Climb, have you ever heard that song?
You're
It's
gonna
I
have to
such a
sing
good
it
have.
though.
song for teenage kids,
Yeah. Can you
but
sing a bar?
I don't know it.
it's so true. It's about the climb, you
It's
know.
yeah,
It's about the climb and the
it's not the
journey.
peak. Yeah.
It's
People,
not
I
the peak.
think, yeah, people romanticize. There's a lot of people who never start a business, right? And they romanticize it. And they have a hard time understanding why I would quit. They're like, you got to hire the people
Mm,
you wanted. You got
mm.
to a certain size, you provide for your family. You get to, but your office is the same city you live in. Like, what else could you want? And I
Yeah.
just, it's what you said. It's like at a certain stage, you start thinking about a different mountain to climb, a different journey. And
Yeah.
that's where the excitement comes from. And what I
And kudos for
realized,
you for realizing that, because I think you're right. Some people would just be like, "Hey, I got what I want, so I'm just going to stick here and
right?
stick it out,
Yeah.
and not find the next peak."
Yeah.
So
And
good for
for
you,
having a
man.
wife that you could just shove it all over to
Yes,
Yeah,
and
that's
that
always
was
walk
key.
away.
that was very
That's
nice.
always key.
That
That's
was
the
very
secret
nice.
sauce.
All right, well let's get to telling a story of some sort from your past that maybe other people maybe haven't heard of. So I'll just lob one out there, and you can, or you can either pick whatever random interesting story you can think of about your life, or you can answer this one. What is the most interesting bucket list thing that you've done or want to do, or a random story?
Um, I don't know if I have a bucket list per se, but I do know that when I was younger, I did want to write a book. I did want to start my own company, and I did want to teach. I've now done all three of those things.
Nice.
So I need to
Excellent.
I do need to find another list. But I think one of the coolest things I was able to do was when I was first few years working as a consultant, I got some balance. I didn't have to be in an office all the time,
Right.
right? So I coached basketball. I coached a middle school basketball team.
Oh, cool.
Awesome.
Yeah,
So
and
you were like in your 30s at that time?
yeah,
Like you were
yeah.
out? Okay. Oh,
I
that's
was like
great.
35-ish. My playing days were over. I wasn't playing basketball. And then I love basketball. So I coached at a school called Aim High, which is actually not a official school in the city. It's a summer program.
Hmm.
But they experimented with an actual, September to January school for 2 years. And so, because I knew people at that group, they were like, "Hey, we're looking for a basketball coach. Do you want to be?" I was like, "I have no experience." They go, "It doesn't matter. We know you."
That's awesome.
And that school didn't even have a gym. We would
Wow.
we would practice outside.
Whoa.
You know how windy it gets in San Francisco?
Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Terrible.
Like it's kind of hard to shoot, but whatever. So we play
Whatever.
we'd play on and actually only had one hoop. So we had to play half court.
Half court. Yeah.
Was there actually strings, or is it like chains? Is that
Yeah.
what it is?
Chains.
Yeah, one of those, the kind of slightly
Yeah.
bent, rusted.
Yeah.
Then me and my friend Thomas, who became my assistant coach, we bought another hoop so they could do full court.
Nice. Oh,
Nice.
that's awesome.
But
Coach Kenny.
But this is one of the
Yeah.
great things about sports. It's like even though we didn't have the facilities, that team kicked ass.
Oh, wow.
Those kids, a lot of those kids were underprivileged kids.
Mm.
I would
Good for
say
you.
it was 2/3 African American.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
they just wanted it more. I remember we went and played at some schools and there was a loose ball and two of my kids are fighting after it.
Yeah.
And you're
And
like, you're on the same team.
I turned to Thomas, I go, we got this.
Yeah.
They just wanted
Yeah.
more.
Every
Yeah.
loose ball. Yeah.
That's
And they had a
awesome.
great coach. They had a great coach.
Yeah.
Maybe. So I did that for a
I'm-
couple of years. I also coached in East Palo Alto through the Boys and Girls Club.
Oh, wow.
Wow. Another rough neighborhood type of situation.
Yes. And
Wow,
also
good for
a
you.
pretty good team.
Wow. I'm
Yeah.
picturing like Lean on Me. You're in the rough
Yeah.
hood and you're just like whipping these kids in their shape. That's awesome though.
Yeah.
You were like a really good impact on some of these kids, I'm sure. That's
I
amazing.
feel bad because I started to get really busy with my business. And
Mm.
then I just stopped coaching.
Yeah.
I think
Mm.
I'm too
That's
old
Yeah.
to coach now. It's been 20 years. So
Never too old,
Bill,
man. Never
yeah,
too
Bill
old.
Belichick's coming back.
That's true, man. You could, if Belichick's coming back, you can definitely come back.
Yeah, you
All
could
right,
definitely
well,
come back.
that was an awesome story. Wayne, what do we have next on the list here?
uh-oh.
Haru. Haru.
Haru.
Haru. HARU stands for How Asian Are You type of quiz questions that we put together. And based on your answers, we will be able to
Ooh,
determine your
wow.
level. We'll kind of match it up with your own rating and see if you really truly have moved to a 7,
Okay.
from a 3. Or if you score, maybe based on this, the meter will show that you actually are still a 2
You're
or a
gonna
3.
expose me, and then I'll be like a 2 on your rating or something.
That's right. Could be. It's possible.
Okay.
It's all possible.
It's possible.
Depending. Yeah, it's
All
all
right,
possible.
some of this is pop culture stuff, which I don't know how into the pop culture stuff you are. I think KJ's
Ooh,
into it.
my kids would say I'm so out of touch.
So that's all right. It's not the recent stuff. It's more the adult
Oh, okay.
stuff. But
Okay,
we do have a sports
I got a
question in which
chance there.
here.
Okay.
And
Yeah,
maybe
all
some
right.
sports. Yeah,
Which
Yeah.
you better answer the sports ones right. All right, so
that's true.
okay, so name one TV show with all Asian characters.
Well, Fresh Off the Boat is the one that I could think of, but don't they have white characters in that?
Well, so I did so my bad.
Yeah,
My bad.
you screwed
Not
up on
all
the
Asian
question.
characters. Because then you should
cast,
have
I guess.
called out
Well,
some show from Taiwan. Because
yeah,
all of the American shows have some white people in it because you have to relate to the white crowd,
Yeah,
right?
you have to have some.
that's true. The neighbors are white, so you're right. The cast does have some white people in it, so
Yeah.
All right, so
technically, but
I have to ask the bonus question. So fresh off the boat, who can you name either of the the main act or any of the actors' names in there?
Gosh.
The mom and dad are the most famous.
yeah,
I know his first name's Russell. Is it Russell Park? Is that his name?
Yeah.
We're looking at each other like, is it Russell?
I think it.
Oh, was that the
it's
question, or are you
no, it's definitely
asking the
Park.
character's name?
No, I was asking the actor's name. Yeah,
Oh, and then
Yeah, you got it.
I think the mom is Candace something.
close. Constance.
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 Okay.
And actually, I'm thinking, is it Russell Park or is it something like Russell, like Ruth, like
Randall.
Exactly.
Randall Park.
Randall.
Dang, yeah. Well, you get an extra bonus
Oh,
for that.
Man.
Yeah,
hilarious.
Randall. But Russell Park, I was like, I know, man, it was
That's
close
so
enough.
close. Okay. All right. We'll leave the sports question for last, but 1 for 1. All right. So win 2 for 3 and you win a prize. So question number 2, name 2 Asian grocery stores that are not Chinese. Oh,
Okay, that's pretty easy for me. You got to remember who
Oh,
I'm married to.
Man.
but do
Oh,
we have
So
any?
there's
Do we have any near us?
there's Cook J up in
What the
the
hell's that?
south of the city.
I've never heard of
okay.
that.
It's
Could make up anything.
KUKJ. It's pretty good. It's pretty
Really?
good. Yeah. And then there's H Mart. I mean,
H Mart.
Oh,
I think
yeah.
that's
H Mart.
Everybody
Korean,
knows
right?
H Mart. Korean, yeah.
Yeah. And I think there's Saruki too. I'll just do a third one.
Oh,
Wow.
Well,
Bonus
Dang.
Asian
wait. You
question.
said not Japanese or not
Not
Chinese?
Chinese, not
Not
Chinese. Because we
Chinese. So
got Ranch
Japanese
99
is
and
in there.
Marina. And
That's in San
nice,
Mateo. That's also a great one.
Dang.
nice.
Killed
I
it.
wasn't sure if you're going to get those. You got those really fast.
Can I flex on my Asianness?
Add yourself a point,
Dude.
sure.
Yeah, you're
So,
an 8 now. You just moved up.
so
Yeah.
Kukje, if you show up,
Yeah.
I think between 7 and 7:30, their pre-prepared food's half off.
That's
That's
flexing.
super Asian. Not only knowing the
That's
I
store,
know
total
but
that's
knowing
flex.
how to get
Asian.
the deals. That is,
Yeah, how to get the
And
deals.
and Saruki, if you show up, I think it's at 4 o'clock. They have a line out the door. They're all old Asian Japanese people. So I knew something was up. I went to get a boba with my daughter last year, and I was like, "What's
yeah.
this line about?" I just I spilled in line and I asked them. They go, "Oh, it's all half off after 4 o'clock."
Oh man,
I hit
all
that
the old
once, and I
Asians.
mean, those old Asian ladies will just butt you out of the way. I mean, it
And they
gets
and they
very,
clean out the thing. Like if you're not a
yeah,
certain place in line, you won't get anything.
right,
That's hilarious.
absolutely. No,
Yeah,
Gotta love the
it's a
Asians.
good deal though.
All
It's a
right,
great
it
deal.
is. Great deal.
all right. Last question is about Jeremy Lin. So I'm guessing you know everything about her. So everything about it. So the first question is super easy. Where did he go to college?
You went to Harvard.
Yeah,
Easy. Okay.
easy.
All right.
Can
Well,
I
now we
can I
step
tell
right
you that
to
I actually went to see him play
at
in
Harvard.
Harvard because he
And
came.
did you know? Did you see him and you were
Wow.
like, that kid is going to be in the NBA?
I
Or
I read about some Taiwanese kid and I was like, this can't be real. And then I looked at the Harvard schedule and
Wow.
they were playing Santa Clara. And
oh, okay.
and
Oh, you
man,
went.
my peeps showed up, man. There was a sign, there
Bunch
was
of Asians.
chanting. It was beautiful.
Wow, that
Wow.
was in Santa Clara though. So it
Yeah,
wasn't over in
yeah.
Boston.
No, I didn't go to Boston. They
Right.
played Santa Clara, and
But
I'm pretty
still,
sure they won that game too. So
that's awesome.
That is
Isn't there
awesome.
like a shorter dude now that's at Nebraska or something that's Japanese or something? He's like the next Steph Curry or something weird like that. Like he's a real
whoa.
good shooter.
He played last year. He's
Last
not a
year,
yeah. I forget his name. He's Japanese. He's a great shooter. I don't think he's as good as
not
Jeremy,
quite Steph Curry.
but we'll see.
Yeah,
No.
Not quite. I mean, is
yeah,
he
not
even
quite.
as good as do you guys remember Rex Walters?
Oh
He
yeah,
was yeah, he was a great player in my
he
book.
played at USF, didn't he? Oh no,
I
he
think he was at
coached at USF.
Kansas. He
He
coached at
coached at
USF.
USF. Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah, there's one for the books.
All
Yeah.
right, so the bonus questions for Jeremy Lin. Let me see. Where did he play high school?
Pally High, I think.
That's pretty easy.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's pretty easy. All right,
Does
so step
does
up to this
he
one.
does he have anything in the gym? Like, do they commemorate him at all?
they
I
should.
haven't seen him. There's probably a small picture on the side. It's not like a giant, Jeremy Lin went here. There is like he has a playground over by the library, but I
Oh,
don't see anything in the high school. He's been there. He's like last year he just kind of showed up.
That's cool.
So, all right, let's see. Jeremy Lin won 2 championships.
Hmm.
For whom? Which teams did he win them with?
Okay. God, I should know this. I think he won for the Lakers. Was he on the Lakers?
He was not on the Lakers. Was he ever on the
Yeah,
Lakers?
yeah.
I don't
I
remember.
don't
He
think
was on the
so.
Lakers. He might have not won a championship, but
He was okay. That's right. That's right. I kind of remember because he was talking. Was he talking to Kobe? No, Kobe was giving him crap when he was with the Knicks. So, but anyway, so he was on the
Right.
Lakers. I didn't know
Okay.
that. But he won when he went. So the problem is when he won his championship, he was a bench guy. So he played a couple minutes.
oh,
If it,
Toronto,
if
yeah,
yeah,
the
Toronto,
yeah, yeah.
Raptors.
the
Yeah, because
Raptors. There
he
you go.
really was just, he may as well have just had front row tickets
Yeah,
like the
he
rest
played
of the
garbage minutes
audience,
at the end, I think.
if
Okay, so the
even.
second one is even harder though, man. So then
He's
if
probably
you
in China or
some
Taiwan.
Taiwan,
Yeah.
Taiwan, you
Yeah.
know the name of the team?
No,
That would
no.
be way out there. New Taipei Kings. But yeah, that was
Yeah.
just last year. New Taipei Kings.
And you
Didn't
say
he
you're
play
Oh,
with,
you're Taiwanese? What kind of
yeah,
Taiwanese
what's
are you?
up?
Yeah.
didn't he play
-1
with
for the
his
Taiwanese
brother
side.
too?
What about his brother?
I thought his brother was on that same team. He was playing with his brother. I don't know how
Oh,
Whoa.
that
the
sounds
plays.
familiar. I think you're right. I think you're right.
I think you're probably
Yeah,
right.
that sounds familiar. I think you're right. Yeah. I just saw that he won a championship over there and I was
Yeah.
like, okay, cool. All
Have you
right.
guys seen all his documentary stuff on HBO?
Yeah,
You
the
got that shit?
the 37 at the
Yeah.
Garden and yeah.
Pretty
Oh
cool.
yeah. Love it.
Yeah, that guy was amazing. I actually randomly ran into him ran into him once at a Subway in
Wow.
Palo Alto. This was like during Linsanity, and I was like, "Aren't you Jeremy Lin?" And he was super humble. He was just like, "Maybe I am." You know, he was just
Maybe
like
I
totally,
am. Maybe
totally chill
I
about
am.
it.
That's so
Yeah,
Chinesey.
yeah, it's
Maybe
so
I am.
funny. Yeah.
Well, apparently, in Mitchell Park in Palo Alto,
Hmm.
he shows up there sometimes to play pickleball.
Oh, but pickleball, really?
Yeah,
He's an old man now.
because I have a friend who's like he's there all the time,
Oh, that's
and
funny.
he got to play with Jeremy Lin a couple times.
Oh, that's cool. I didn't even know because I think his parents are still in Palo Alto, but I
Yeah,
didn't know he probably comes back to hang out with them. I
yeah.
wouldn't be surprised.
He's
That's
probably pretty
awesome.
much retiring soon from actual play, so get him into your
Right.
transitions group. I think he'll need
Oh
it.
yeah, he'll be
I think
transitioning, man.
he'll be like, I'm transitioning. I used to be this basketball player. You might have heard of me, Jeremy Lin. He'll
That's
be
a
all,
good call out. I might as well try.
but yeah,
That's
he is
hilarious.
transitioning. He could use it.
Wow.
He could use it.
All
Yes.
right, Wayne, how did Kenny do in our awesome
So
Haru
hey,
quiz?
Rue, he nailed all three, and then a couple bonuses. So 5 out of 5 are the
Woo!
winner. And your prize will be well, hopefully autographed copy of our book, The Coder Bros Go to White Castle. I know that
Free
you're super
marketing. That's
excited. You probably never won anything better than this. Definitely at least never won anything exactly the same. So there, I can say that.
Well,
But
I
yeah,
have a
awesome.
request. I have a request then because I'm a
Yeah.
big sports card guy, right? And I get autographed stuff.
yeah.
Just number it for me.
Number it. Nice. Smart.
Just number
That would
you
be
you can
hilarious.
choose to number it like one of one if you want to do that, or if you think
Yeah,
you're going to give away a lot of these, like one out of
yeah.
50 or but if I get the first copy that's numbered, hey, that's worth
That'll be
something.
worth millions.
Yeah.
That'll be worth something.
Awesome. All right.
Yeah.
So let's see. To wrap this up, so we'll give you the floor here, Kenny. You are free to give a life tip or give our audience your contact info, how to get a hold of the transition group or get find out more about it. We'll leave the floor to you. Just say whatever you
Yeah,
want.
so the transition group is still new, so we don't have a website or anything, but you can email me. You can email me at kenchen1 at gmail.com if you're interested in midlife. If you're interested in sports collecting, I have a YouTube channel. It's called Vintage Card Voyage. And I'd appreciate if anybody subscribe because we don't have many subscribers.
Wayne will be right on after that. He's Mr. Sports.
Yeah. There we go.
Anything else?
No, but I'm going to send you pictures. So I'm going to send you pictures of Jeremy Lin in a
Nice.
Lakers uniform.
Okay. To
You
prove
got
it.
proof?
Okay.
Yeah, to prove that you
John,
actually got that
John
one right.
Smoltz in the
You
John
high
saw my
Smoltz.
look
school
of
basketball
disbelief then.
program. High
I
school
actually
Oh
wasn't
wow.
basketball
sure.
program.
Okay.
Cool.
Wow.
And I don't know what I have of Glavin, but I'll take a picture of that. Or Dale Murphy, is that
Yeah,
pretty?
Murphy was Mr. Atlanta, right?
Yeah.
For
Yeah.
many years.
Cool. Well, hey, thanks a bunch for taking the time out today to be on the podcast. We'll let you know when this comes out. But thanks for your time, Kenny.
Oh, thank you guys. It was fun.
We are sponsored by none other than the Coder School, a company that teaches kids how to code with over 70 locations all around the country. So if you're interested in getting your kids to code, head online and check us out. Learn to code, change the world. Thanks for listening.